So here we are in Montemayor Resort. It's where I call home. I've been here for just over a year now. I absolutely love it. So we're here at the entrance. Behind me, we've got the magnificent sea views all the way out to Africa. You can see the Rock of Gibraltar. If you've got to carry on down the coast for 10 minutes, you come to Estepona, and then you come to Duquesa and Sotogrande, and eventually Gibraltar. But we're up above what they call the New Golden Mile, really, if you were to go due south. At the front, we have the entrance with security guards. You get a little fob in your window, which recognises you as a resident and lets you in. So everything up in the hill that away is part of Montemayor. And the great thing about it, unlike a lot of other hillside retreats, is that most of the properties get really good southerly sea views, which is fantastic. It's what you want, isn't it? And then here is the lower part of Montemayor, just in the foreground here. And then over the way is Marbella Club Golf Resort. You can just pick out the clubhouse down there, Marbella Club Golf Resort. So it's two separate entrances, separate entrance for Marbella Club, separate entrance for Montemayor, but they're neighbouring developments. And yeah, I mean, on a day like this, it's just a heavenly place to be. So when they launched Montemayor all those years ago, they actually spent a huge amount of money on the infrastructure. So you can see these little statues they have dotted around, lovely little features. The sales office and the old sort of entrance there is a beautiful place to just sit and have a coffee if you want. Also, Portuguese marble was used for the pavements. And you can see, actually, I don't know if you can see the little lake down at the bottom. So Montemayor was originally built with an 18-hole golf course, which was known as one of the most challenging golf courses in the world. But it was kind of on the bucket list. You had to come and play it. It was a bit, so you need to come with about 20 balls before, well, at least before you started. But it was great fun. And you also got a lake. You got a clubhouse at the bottom there by the lake, and another one that they built near the top. They're not being used at the moment, so we do have investors who are talking about bringing the golf back, or some form of leisure, whether it's a spa or a little boutique hotel, which would be fantastic for the resort. So watch this space on that. But behind us, a selection of villas. All of them have plot sizes in excess of around 2,000, 2,500 square meters. So it means that everyone's got a bit of space to breathe, which is great. It's what you want up here. Lovely views, greenery, privacy, and space, and different mixtures of styles. You can probably see some rustic, Andalusian, modern, classic, contemporary, whatever floats your boat. There's something here for everyone. You'll probably notice that I don't have my sidekick Alfredo with me today, and there's a very good reason for that. We actually did the filming for Montemayor last week, and then Alfredo asked me a couple of days ago if someone doing some filming there, if he could have the files, the video files that we did on this app on my iPhone, which I normally send to him straight away. And of course I hadn't done on this occasion, and I'd wiped my videos from my iPhone because the storage, and so I'm having to do it all again. So I don't have him with me, unfortunately. Some people might think it's a good thing, but I'm just going to whiz you around Montemayor and show you the sights. It's an area that, I mean, if you were here, well, if you don't know it, you'll learn something. But if you were here maybe 10 years ago, it's completely different. I mean, even if you were last here a year or 2 years ago, again, it's completely different. I think there's about 14 or 16, I think it is, houses under construction here, which is amazing. And you think that would be like a building site. But because the area is so vast, you don't get that feeling at all. In fact, all you can see really is nature. Most of this land is protected. Used to be a golf course here. Maybe one day that will come back. On the left, you've got a site of the Pueblo, which is the La Heredia, which is the development of townhouses that was built by the original developers of Montemayor. So everything else, apart from that, is villas and villa plots. This one coming up, you'll see, is under construction, not far to finishing. A lot of cars here, so they're obviously having a site meeting. But that'll be great when that's finished, because that's one of the sort of the main villas as you come on, because you come along this avenue, which is known locally as the Ridge, by the way. And off here, it connects all the different areas of Montemayor. So again, on the left, you'll see the Pueblo, the townhouses coming into view. And on the right-hand side, lots of lovely villas. And the nice thing about Montemayor is that there's a great deal of respect for everyone's view. So the local bylaws say that you can't build here if you're going to interfere with anyone's view. But you can build different styles of houses. So you'll see some Andalusian, you'll see some modern. There's nothing too crazy here, so there's nothing that looks out of place. And some of it is now integrated into the landscape, particularly on the steeper plots, where they've got roof gardens and things like that. So that's very nice. Nice big white house here on the left. I don't know if you can just see it, which we have listed. There's a double plot on the right hand side here, on which they're going to put 2 houses. But yeah, I mean, Montemayor is a lovely place to live. I don't think it's for everybody because it's a little bit away from the coast. You're probably looking at 15-20 minute drive down to San Pedro and 15 minutes down to the coastal facilities, which doesn't sound a lot, I know, but when you live in Spain, live in Costa del Sol, you kind of get used to having everything on your doorstep. So I would say this is probably not the ideal place for someone with 3 or 4 young kids who need ferrying around the coast to different things, because it would become a little bit of a schlep. But I think for people like me, middle-aged, did I really say that? People who want peace, tranquility, security, and space, this is a really good option. Because up here, the plot sizes are big. Normally for a villa plot, you're looking at 2,000 square meters plus. That doesn't mean that's going to be your garden. It's normally just guaranteeing your view and your privacy, because most of the land here is on some sort of slope. But what it does mean is that you've got space within your home to live nicely, to work, to entertain. So for that sort of demographic, it's perfect. And we've got a really varied buyer base up here from all different nationalities. But as I say, the age range tends to be 30s plus, maybe 40s plus. We're just coming into the back of Montemayor here. And because of the layout of the land and the hillside, it's difficult to see everything, because you'll see little houses down in the valleys and down little streets. So it's actually nicely developed. It's not, you don't see a lot of villas all in one go overlooking each other. It's not that kind of place. The community is very well run. The community fees are cheap, but I think they're cheap here. I think I pay about 250 euros a month. And what that gives me is the upkeep of the streets and the lighting, and also, most importantly, 24-hour security. So this road is public. It's open to anyone. So in the daytime, the security is relatively soft. There's a number plate system, so it clocks everyone going in and out. But the barrier opens as soon as someone approaches it in the daytime. But security guards are keeping an eye on things. And then at night, as soon as darkness comes, the security barrier is down permanently, unless you have a special little fob, which I have on my windscreen here, which allows me free access, or the security guards let you in once you've explained who you are and what you're doing. So, and it works really well. We don't have too many problems up here. The community is very well run. I live next door to the president. It's always handy. But no, the committee's good. It's run like a business. It's no issues, no slanging matches at the meetings, nothing like that at all. It's a nice, mature, well-run community. This is a staggering house here on the right-hand side. This is the limits of Montemayor. So I'm just going to turn around and spin you back down the hill so you can see some of the beautiful views that we have here. For golf lovers, there is the possibility at some stage, I guess, of the golf course and the clubhouse coming back. That was the original intention of Montemayor. So it's got a bit of a checkered history, which I think sort of 10 years ago put a few people off, because the golf course was growing out. It didn't look the most attractive of places. Now that the golf course has completely grown out, you would never know there was a golf course here. But there's obviously land that's been bought at auction several years ago by an investor who knows, he may well bring the golf back, or some form of spa or boutique hotel or something. I don't know, but I have investor clients interested in doing just that. So if I have, I'm sure other people have, and I think there'll be some activity here in the coming years to improve the the leisure offering, which would be amazing because then it become a proper resort. But a lot of residents actually like it as it is, because obviously with a golf course, it means you're getting people in who might be strangers to the community. So I think although it was a shock at the time the golf course went, I think a lot of residents now like it as it is. But for golf lovers, you have Marbella Club Golf Resort right next door. So within 5 minutes drive, you're in Marbella Club Golf, which is a very beautiful golf course. It's almost semi-private really, and you've got a lovely clubhouse there where you can go for breakfast, lunch or dinner. I go there quite a lot, as you can imagine, because it's on my doorstep, and it's a nice place. I also entertain clients there and family and friends. I'm pretending I've got family and friends now. But it's a very, very lovely place to be. And I've said before that I think Marbella Club Golf Resort and Montemayor are like a little younger version of La Zagaleta and El Madrigal on the Ronda Road, just over the valleys. They're more expensive, those places, and I think this has got a little bit of catching up to do to get to those kind of price levels, but it's going in the right direction. I really feel that there's quite a lot happening here and a lot of interest. As I say, a lot of the best plots have now been sold, a lot of houses are being built. We're developing a plot for investment. We're really delighted with our place. I'm taking you down this little street because it's a street I know well because I live here on this street. Beautiful house on the right hand side, almost like a French colonial style. House on the left is being developed on a very steep hillside plot, but it's going to be incredible with a sort of hanging infinity pool and amazing sea views, which I hope you can see in front of us. The house on the right coming up here, we have on our books, that's listed and just been reduced in price actually, to the right level in my opinion. Empty plot here on the left, which is the one we are developing. Lovely house on the right, big modern house with amazing southwest views of the coastline and out to Africa and Gibraltar. This is a lovely Andalusian villa, one of the very first to be built here. And then you swing around and you can see this is a very recently completed villa. So the white boxy contemporary style, that's completed just a few months ago. Then you have a house under construction here, which is a big house, lovely big house, and they're really motoring along with that. So we've come to the, I suppose, the midpoint of Montemayor. We've come up the ridge, they call it, not the hill, the ridge. And we're at a really nice viewing point here, which I wanted to show you. Here you can see quite a lot of the, I suppose, the lower 2/3 of the resort. You can see how green it is. So lots of greenery, lots of plots and villas. A lot of it is being built out at the moment, actually, although you wouldn't know it. You can't see many cranes, but I think there's about 16 or 17 villas under construction in Montemayor at the moment, which is great for the resort. But you'll also hopefully see the sea view behind me. I've got Alfredo up here with his technical bits and pieces because the sea views were stunning today. And you can see some of the tankers heading into Gibraltar. Right in the distance, you'll be able to see the coast of Africa and maybe a little bit of Gibraltar, but no, not from this angle. But it's a nice spot in the middle of the resort. It's so quiet. For anyone who likes birds and nature, and you know, over there we've got Marbella Club Golf Resort just over the other side of that mountain, so not far to the nearest golf club. And yeah, beautiful, quiet, scenic, private place. As I said, you've got Marbella Club Golf next door to you. You've got Los Flamingos Golf Resort with the Villa Padiana Hotel within 10 minutes. You've got Estepona one way, you've got San Pedro and Puerto Banús and Marbella the other way. So it's a nice location. And you're in Benavis, which is important because when you're in Benavis, things get done quickly. So you won't see anything kind of waiting for permission to be built. It's all go, go, go. And also their taxes are relatively cheap. You would think they'd be expensive because it's the wealthiest town hall and it has a lot of the best parts of the Costa del Sol within its jurisdiction. But actually the basura, the rubbish collection, is only 18 euros a year. Can you believe that? And the IBI, which is like the council tax, I think I pay, how much do I pay? Can't remember, 800, 900 a year, which for a property of the size I've got is not bad. It's certainly much, much cheaper than you'd pay in Marbella or Estepona. So we're just coming up to the crest of the ridge. It's going to drive you back down to where the entrance is and the security. This is the house under construction on the left. Beautiful sea views today, as you can hopefully see. It's always difficult to pick up on camera, but hopefully you can get a sense of it. And the land in Montemayor falls away to the left, so there's lots of plots. You lose some of the views, but some nice plots, some good value plots. The bins to the left, the bins, I can't believe I'm showing you bins on a video. Here in Montemayor, price-wise, plots, I think they start from around 200,000 euros. That sounds cheap, but obviously bear in mind that for that sort of money, you're probably buying a very steep hillside and probably not with views. So for the prime plots here, the ones with sea views that are a little bit easier to build on, you're looking at probably 500,000 to 700,000. For a finished house, so I think the cheapest one on the books at the moment is 1.35, 1.375, which will buy you a beautiful Andalusian house with lots of charm, but again, no sea views. For sea views, I think the cheapest house on the market at the moment is about 1.9. So the sweet spot here is probably between 1.5 and 3 million. There's a bit of choice, and then there's obviously the super mansions that are priced above that. And I think the most expensive sale here was 4.75 last year. So that's kind of the range we're in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, was Montemayor.